Dear friends, English Literature, Introduction to Drama, Riders to the Sea by John Millington Synge. Brief questions with answers. Brief questions 31 to 60. Question 31. From whom did Nora come to know that Bartley would be going to the Galloway Fair? Answer. Nora came to know that Bartley was going to the Galloway Fair from Eamon Simon. Stephen Fitty and Colum Shaw, neighbors and friends of the family of Maria. Question 32. It won't be long till he's here now, for the tide's turning at the Greenhead, and the hookers tacking from the east. Who speaks these words? To whom and about whom? Answer. Nora, the younger daughter of Maria, speaks these words to her mother about his brother Bartley. Question 33. What is Greenhead? Answer. It is a patch of green grass and vegetable on the hillock. A head, in this sense, is a raised piece of land. Question 34. What is a hooker? Who is the hooker taking? Answer. A hooker is a kind of a small Irish sailing boat. Tacking means moving in a zigzag manner in order to adjust its sail so as to come towards the island. Question 35. He is coming now and he is in a hurry. Who is he and why he coming is in a hurry? Answer. He is Bartley. He is coming in a hurry because the hooker in which he will sail to the Connemara Fair is coming towards the island. Question 36. Why did Bartley inquire Kathleen of the bit of new rope bought from the Connemara? Answer. Bartley wanted the bit of new rope bought from Connemara to make a halter or nose bridle for the mare that he intends to ride. Question 37. What does Maria want to do with a new rope bought from Connemara? Answer. Maria wants to use the new rope bought from Connemara for the purpose of lowering the coffin of Michael in the grave if his body is found in a day or two. Question 38. Why doesn't Bartley want to miss the boat to Connemara? Answer. Bartley doesn't want to miss the boat from boat to Connemara because no boat will be available for 2 weeks or more for the trip to the fair, where horses will be sold at high prices. Question 39. What will Bartley sell at Connemara? Answer. Bartley will sell at Connemara 2 horses, his red mare and Michael's grey pony. Question 40. What was the color of Michael's horse and what color was Bartley's mare? Answer. Michael's horse was grey and Bartley's mare was red. Question 41. And there was a star up against the moon and it rising in the night. What do these words portend? Answer. These words portend that a violent storm will break which will make the sea voyage dangerous. It is a superstitious belief that a star and a moon going together present a storm. Question 42. What does Maria rate the worth of a son? Answer. Maria rates the worth of a son above any amount of money. To her, the worth of a son is more than the price of 100 and 1,000 horses. Question 43. What instruction does Bartley give to his sister Kathleen on the eve of his departure from the cottage? Answer. On the eve of his departure from the cottage, Bartley gives instructions to his sister Kathleen that in his absence, she should prevent the sheep from jumping over the fence into the rye fields and sell. If the jobber came, the pig with the Blackfeet if a good price is offered. Question 44. What is a jobber? Answer. A jobber is a broker engaged in selling cattle and horses. Question 45. What is kelp? Answer. Kelp is a seaweed, the ashes of which yield iodine and other valuable minerals. Question 46. It's hard to sell. It's hard to set will be from this day with no one in it but one man to work. Who says this? Why is here only one man to work? Answer. Bartley, the only surviving son of Maria, says this. There is only one man to work in the family of Maria because all the men folk of the family except Bartley have already been drowned in the sea. Question 47. It's hard. Hard set will be surely the day you are drowned with the rest. Who says this and what the speaker wants to mean here? Answer. Maria says this to her only surviving son Bartley. She says that it will be very difficult for her when Bartley will be drowned in the sea like other male folk of the family. Question 48. Is she coming to the pyre? Who asks the question and to whom? What does the speaker mean by she? Answer. Bartley puts this question to his younger sister Nora. By she, he means the boat in which he will sail to the Galway fair to sell the horses. Question 49. What is pyre? Answer. Pyre is a structure of wood, iron, etc. built in the sea and joined to the land at one end, used by boats to allow passengers to get on and off. Question 50. She is passing the green head and letting fall her sails. Why is Bartley interested in the vessel? Answer. Bartley is interested in the vessel because it is the only vessel sailing to Connemara for 2 weeks or more for the trip to the fair where the horses will be sold at high prices. Question 51. It's life of a young man to be going on the sea. Who said these words and what the speaker means by these words? Answer. Kathleen says these words to her mother. By these words, she means that the life of a young man like Bartley is to take the risks of going to the sea in order to earn his living. Question 52. I must go now quickly. Who is the speaker? Why must he go quickly? Answer. Bartley in Riders to the Sea is the speaker. He must go quickly because the boat in which he will sail to the Connemara fair is the only boat for 2 weeks or more, and the fair will be good one for horses. Question 53. I'll ride down on the red mare and the grey pony will run behind me. Who is the speaker? What do the color red and grey signify? Answer. Bartley in Riders to the Sea is the speaker. Here the color red signifies strength and virility and grey signifies death. Question 54. Why doesn't Maria bless her son Bartley on the eve of his departure? Answer. On the eve of Bartley's departure, Maria could not bless him because there was an ominous touch. She is so desperate with grief and agony that she utters ominous words instead of blessing him. Question 55. He is gone now. God spare us and will not see him again. Who is speaking here and about whom? Why does the speaker give up hope of seeing him? Answer. Maria in Riders to the Sea speaking here about her son Bartley. She gives up the hope of seeing him, Bartley, again because she has the foreboding that Bartley will be drowned in course of his journey to Connemara. Question 56. He is gone now, and when the black night is falling, I'll have no son left me in the world. What does the black night suggest here? What makes the speaker utter such ominous words? Answer. Here, the black night suggests the dark misfortune that will befall Maria. Her agony and bitterness of grief of her past experience make her utter such ominous words. Question 57. Isn't it sorrow enough on everyone in this house without your sending him out with an unlucky word behind him? What unlucky word does Maria utter? The unlucky word Maria utters is, I have no son left in the world, or will not see him again. Question 58. What premonition of Berkeley's death did Kathleen have? Answer. Kathleen had the premonition of Berkeley's death when she discovered that they had forgotten to give him bread and he had eaten nothing since the sunrise. Question 59. Is destroyed, he will be surely. Who is the speaker? Who is speaking here and about whom? Why does the speaker think that he will surely be destroyed? Answer. There is a superstitious belief that man should not leave home from a distant place without eating anything at home. Berkeley leaves home for the Galway affair without eating anything at home. So the speaker, Kathleen here, thinks that Berkeley will surely be destroyed. Question 60. Whom does Kathleen blame for forgetting to give Berkeley his bread, and why? Answer. Kathleen blames her mother for forgetting to give Berkeley his bread because Kathleen thinks that they have forgotten their duties due to Maria's whining and talking endlessly. Thank you friends for watching my video.